Today I'm going to give an update on the Apimaye Thermo Hive that I installed a new bee package in on March 23rd. I wanted to come in here and show you the progress of the bees, progress of the queen, how these plastic frames are looking, and I actually think you'll be very surprised. Let me first take off the lid. And under the lid, you can see the feeder here. There's only one thing that I am confused about the feeder, is that when the feeder gets low or there's no syrup in here, somehow the bees can get in. I haven't exactly found out how they're getting in, but we're gonna take a look first and see if there's any bees in here. And right now there are no bees in here. The feeder is empty, so I know I have to get some feed to feed them. And it looks like they're actually closing up these holes up at the top. That's pretty interesting. We're going to take a look at that. They've got, Maria, can you get in close on this? Let me know if you can see the tops of these things. Okay, they've actually sealed up the tops of these things. Where they get fed in is through down here. I can see right now that there's some bees in there probably looking for food, and I'm going to put some more syrup in here after I go inside the hive. But the first thing I'm going to do is take the feeder off, and I'm just going to smoke them a little bit because they have a tendency to hang on the bottom of this feeder. Putting the feeder on something, because you have a tendency to crush the bees. So let me just smoke them a little bit, see if I can get them off this. And they do like to attach the feeder to the frames, so every now and then I have to scrape off the burr comb. And as you can see, there's a lot of bees. And the first thing I'm looking for, I'm looking to see if the queen's on here, because I certainly don't want to accidentally kill this queen. Now, I don't see the queen, and I'm just going to try and knock them off. And there's just a couple bees on here. And as you can see, they attach it to the frames. So what I'm going to do is first just scrape this stuff off. And I'm going to try not to disturb these bees any longer than I have to, but I do need to get this off. I don't see them except in this area and this area where they're adding burr comb to it. And I think I just killed a bee, but that I couldn't help. I'm trying to do everything possible not to kill any bees. But getting this comb out of there is almost impossible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set this down here. And like I said, I installed this package on March 23rd. Today is April 17th. So it's been about 3 weeks since I installed this package, and I want you to take a look at how well this hive is doing. First thing I'm going to do is, and one thing I do like about these plastic frames is that they don't really stick to each other even when the bees propolize it. They're a lot easier to separate than sometimes wood frames are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these frames out, and I will tell you, with gloves, it is certainly hard to grab a hold of a frame. So let me take this one out, and as you can see, they are not doing anything on this frame yet. Now let me grab the next frame. There are bees on this frame, but they haven't started anything on it yet. Let me set this one down. But then, as you can see, as we get to the next frame, let me just smoke them a little. They're lined up in attack mode, and that's pretty funny when you can see that they're lined up at the top of the frame, the guard bees. And they're like sitting there in attack mode. You just kind of give them a little puff to let them know that, hey, I got some work to do, and be patient, and we'll be out of your hive as quick as we can. As you can see on this frame, they've started building comb on this side, but as you can see, they've already built comb on this side. And this is the third frame from the end. So I'm actually encouraged by this, that they are working nice and quick. What I'm looking for right now is just to make sure that I can see that they're putting nectar in here. I don't see any eggs from the queen, so I know she hasn't been on this frame. That's good. So let's just go ahead and we'll put this frame back in here very gently, and we'll slide it so that we can get to this next frame. And like I said, you know, just give them a little puff, let them know you're there. And you see how easy these things just separate even when they're propolized together. It's almost like they're not. Now I'm sitting down because sometimes it's hard for me to stand and do this because of my legs. But I'm actually going to stand and move this chair out of the way a little bit. Keep the smoker out of my way here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this frame. And this frame is actually heavy. Now I want you to see how nice that they're building the comb on these frames. Maria, if you can get a close-up shot of this. And you can see that they've got honey across the top. And we're going to take a look and see if we see eggs or larvae on this frame. It looks like mostly pollen and honey on this side. And I don't see any eggs in here. And on this side, I don't see any eggs on this side, but you do see pollen and nectar, which is good. So let's just go ahead and put this one back in here. And we're just going to put them right close to each other. And let's go to the next frame. See, it almost takes no effort to separate these frames from each other. In fact, you can just probably do it with your hands. So let's go ahead and we're going to very gently pick up this frame because we don't know if the queen is on it or not. Now, as you can see, the queen has been on this frame and you can see the nice brood pattern on it. You've got honey at the top, brood in the middle, all the way to the one end, and then it looks like they have pollen on this end nearest me. Now I'm just going to take a quick peek for the queen, see if she's on this frame. And I don't see her on this frame. I do see some drone. Now let's take a look at the other side. And you can see she's got a nice brood pattern in the middle here. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see if she's on this side. I'll hold it up like this. And I don't see her on this frame, but you can see the nice brood pattern she's putting down. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to smoke them away from the end. Okay, let's go to the next frame, and I'm just going to separate these with my fingers. Not even going to use the hive tool. We're going to take this frame out very, very slowly because we don't know if the queen is on it. And you can see the really nice brood pattern. Maria, if you can get a close-up shot of this, nearly every cell, it looks like, has been filled. You getting a good close-up of that? Okay, let's look at the other side. And you can see the nice brood pattern. Nearly every cell is filled on this side too. I doubt she's going to be on this frame, but we're going to look anyway, just to be sure. And I don't see her on this side. Now, my queens are not marked. I've ordered a set of paint markers, and I will be marking my queens so I can quickly find them. But, you know, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard to find the queen. It all depends on what she's doing and where she's at. And she's not on this frame, so we're gonna slowly put it back in. And we're gonna keep these frames together, and then we're going to go to this next frame. But you can see the nice brood pattern she's leaving, and I'm very impressed with those. And we're going to take this frame out just ever so slowly. And if you take a look at this frame, she may be on this frame. She's got a nice brood pattern going. You can see all of those cells are filled with eggs and larvae. Some look to be really big that they just haven't capped yet. Let's take a look and see if she's on here. And I don't see her on this side. So let's go ahead and let's flip it up. And look at the nice brood pattern she's leaving on this side. And let's just go quickly take a look and see if she's on this side. And I don't see her on this side either. So let's go ahead and let's put this back in here very, very slowly. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's take a look at this next frame. And I'll just use my fingers to separate them. Okay, now this frame is really heavy. And as you can see, they've got honey at the top, and I'm trying to see if there are any eggs on this side, which I don't see any. Sometimes they are really hard to spot, but we're going to look for the queen anyway. See if she's on this side. And I don't see her on this side, so let's flip it up. Let's take a look on this side. And like I said, sometimes it's really hard to tell if you've got eggs in there with the white comb and the background. And I don't see any on this side either, but let's take a close peek and see if the queen is on this frame. I see some nice drones on here. I don't see the queen on this frame. So let's go ahead and let's put it back, and hopefully we're going to find her on this next frame. Right now we're going to put these together. And okay. I'm going to take this frame out slowly. And you see they've got some nice drawn comb on this frame. I don't see her on this side. I doubt she'll be on this side, but let's just take a look anyway. I may have missed her. You know, it's easy to miss a queen because other bees may be covering her up at the time when you're looking. They're not always easy to spot, especially when they're not marked. So if you don't find the queen, don't worry about it. You can see that they're drawing comb nicely on this side. I use plastic frames, these plastic frames, and I put actually wired foundation in here. They say you don't have to use wired foundation, and you really don't, because these frames come apart. You put the foundation in there and you snap these frames together. Another thing I wanted to mention on these plastic frames is that when you separate them, be careful when you're separating them, because the tabs on them can break real easily. I've actually broken a few tabs, but that's not really been an issue because I've been able to get the frames back together with no problem. But when you're separating these frames, just make sure that you're careful doing it, that you don't break the tabs. And then we got this last frame here that they haven't done anything on yet. But right now, out of the 10 frames, they only have 3 that they haven't started working on. So in 3 weeks, I think that's pretty good. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to put these frames back together. And then we're going to slide these frames back over, because you always want to keep the frames in the order that they're in, because that's how the bees know them. And then we're going to put these two frames back in. We didn't find the queen today, but that's not a problem. We found her the other day, so we know she's in there and she's doing a good job. And you can see the job she's doing. I just want to slide this over a little bit. Put this in there. And actually, if you look at these, which is nice, the 10 frames fit in there nicely. And then you've got the nice bee space. They go, these tabs go all the way to the end. And then you've got the nice bee space in between the frames. And as you can see, that there was no burr comb on any of the sides of the hive. They're building on the frames, and that's nice. And so far, I've been really impressed with these Apimaye hives. Like I said, the only issue that I've had so far was that sometimes when this is empty, like it is now, you can see sugar residue on here. The bees find some way, and I'm not sure how, the bees find some way to get in here. And from the space, it doesn't look like they have enough room unless, and let me put this down here, we're going to avoid crushing any bees, unless some of these may not be going down all the way. And it's nice, you can take this off, you can see inside the hive. It's really, really cool. But otherwise, I have actually had no issue with these hives. Let me go and get some feed. Now, these feeders, they don't have a fill line. So you just kind of have to use your own judgment. And what I do is, I actually fill so that it covers the entire floor on both sides. And I think I just missed, but that's okay. And we can add the rest of this. I've suggested that they have a fill line on these things so that you don't overfill it and it flows into the hive. I don't think that will happen by the way the setup inside here looks, but you never know. Some people might, not want to have to come check the hive. It's best to, you can get into this hive, into this feeder without disturbing the bees to check the feed. You just take the top lid off, you take the top of the feeder off, and you can check to see if they need to be fed. And then you put it on, and you're good to go. Then take your top and just put your top on. So once again, I'm liking the progress of this Thermo Hive. I got mine from Apimaye USA. I'm not promoting them. That's not what this is about. I'm just explaining where I got my hive from and the progress it's doing and the likes and dislikes that I like and don't like about it, or have some different opinion. And if you have any suggestions or comments about this, please share them. That's what this is all about. I think maybe in another week or two I'll be able to add another box. I've got them sitting over there nice and covered up, so kind of like my storage area. But like I said, if you have any comments or suggestions, or please share them in the comment section. If you like this video, click like. If you don't like it, click don't like. But tell me why you don't like it. Tell me what you didn't like about the presentation. I will be adding more videos soon. I appreciate everybody watching. Have a great day.